week I'll be hunting far and wide for stories that make you laugh. I've got a feeling this is going to be one of the best shows ever, but then, like Esther Ranson, I'm a dreamer.
I want Luton to be at least as much fun as Milton Keynes.
That's right, Luton. Milton Keynes, and then one day, Swindon. Tell you what, Harriet Harman's looking rough.
I'm Harriet Harman.
Could be worse, Harriet. At least you didn't appear to shit yourself at work.
Thank you very much. Am I the only person who has sort of... Oh, no.
This is weird. Did you hear MPs at Westminster have been rubbing their nuts with a cheese grater?
And Beg, how raw are MPs feeling down there tonight?
What's the big news this week?
This week's postal strike is still set for Thursday.
The postal strike continues to rumble on. People like Russ, are you going to take the mick at the postman? No, they know where I live. I give a joke, the next thing, there's a turd in my letterbox. Besides, some of them have had a tough time. Oh, shit, the bed. The strikes do my head in. They're treating old Pat like a rammer. Poor Pat. He's had a hard week. First the strike, and secondly, he's had death threats off the BNP for having a black and white cat. Talking of the BNP, did you see Nick Griffin on Question Time?
Can we get the gate open, please?
So, what did the papers make of it? The Daily Mail went for Bigger to Bay. The Daily Record went for Question Slime. But what did the Express go with? Never mind, Griffin. She was the people's princess. Did you see Griffin on Question Time? At times, I thought he came across as a bit extreme.
Isn't that rather in line with your view that people find homosexuals creatures repulsive, as you said about homosexuals?
Ihr musstet als Partei in Minorität bleiben, weil wir die vollsten Elemente des...
He got one thing right, though.
I am the most loathed man in Britain.
This man was delighted.
They have guided tours in the Lake District have been cancelled because only English people, white people, were going on them.
No! We can't go on a ramble! Soon they'll be replacing post offices with reggae clubs. Moron. People were worried that he was going to connect with the man in the street. The man in the street had other ideas.
This is a question to Dick Griffin. I beg your pardon, Nick.
Classic, isn't it? Dick Griffin. You know he was high-fiving his mates. I've done it. I called him Dick Griffin. On telly, called him Dick Griffin. Yeah? What happened to David Dimbleby? I got one in. Did you see the crowd? They looked absolutely terrified. Every cutaway to the crowd, they were going, shit, I'm on telly, don't look racist, don't look racist. Down with Griffin, find the black man, hug the black man. 8 million people watched it, which is amazing. But what's even more amazing, while it was on, 7,000 people watched this. Actual cops. It's like they were going, witness the BNP exposes nonsense. No, thank you, Russ. I'm watching a man get arrested for sticking a Barocca in a dolphin's blowhole. Did you see the protest? It was amazing. People were enraged. But what I liked, in the midst of all this racial tension, one fat guy just wanted to get on telly. Question we've all been asking ourselves this week.
Well, when it comes to Android sex dolls, how do you know if you have quality?
I know this one. You can shag her and charge your iPhone. People are saying it's really lifelike. Come on, it's still a computer. Wouldn't that be horrific? Halfway through, you're having sex and the Microsoft paperclip arrives and then you try and have a shag. Hello! I see you trying to have a shag. Not now, paperclip. Touch her on the wingdings. No! What if she gives you a virus? You spend all week rubbing Norton on your plums. That sounds weird, doesn't it? I mean, like, the software, not Graham.
With its, quote, heavy breathing feature and lifelike quality, you really get a lot of bang for your buck.
Heavy breathing? If you want sex and heavy breathing, don't buy a doll, just bang an asthmatic. If you want it to look like a robot, just cover her in tinfoil. But never during a thunderstorm. Unbelievably, people actually want this monstrous thing.
This is the perfect woman.
No, she's not. She's not the perfect woman. She's not real. You can't have a curry with her, watch the X Factor, and vote for John and Edward just to piss off Simon Cowell. I can only think of one advantage. A robot lady won't be affected by this.
Meet the micro piglets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. The latest arrivals, just 4 days old. But even when they're fully grown, they won't get that much bigger.
Listen to yourselves, would you actually stop it? You've gone from educated women to dribbling wrecks. I want one! I hate stuff like this. My girlfriend is training to be a doctor. When she sees stuff like this, she goes mad. Get me a pig! You're not having a pig. I will kill you in your sleep. We've got a dog, we've got a kitten, we can't have a pig. It's too dangerous. You couldn't have this near a drunk man. Imagine getting home a little bit drunk, you see it like, oh, there's a pig there. Oh, he's cute, he's lovely and cute, but he looks tasty. Where's the George Foreman grill? I'm fed up with cute animals. Stop it! Listen to yourselves! Stop making that noise! Seriously, they're just cute. They don't do anything. Let's breed useful. I say we breed mini zebras. That would be good, wouldn't it? You could take them to Tesco and watch in delight as the girl behind the counter goes, I can't find the barcode. That's a useful thing, isn't it? We could have mini rhinos. They could open bottle tops. I'll tell you what be the best. I've thought about this. Mini elephants. Do you know why? You run out of toilet paper. Can you imagine the feeling as a tiny mini elephant blasts your ring fence? Everybody's happy, aren't they? Not everywhere. Obviously, the elephant is mortified. That is a horrific existence. All I do is clean the arse of a man who looks like Atrium Steps. So, swine flu is back in the news.
President Barack Obama has declared H1N1 flu a national emergency.
He wanted to protect American children, whereas the English kids didn't give a shit.
Children need to have been in direct contact with the 12-year-old for at least 15 minutes to be at high risk.
The Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi has made the headlines again.
Silvio Berlusconi has said he is the most persecuted person in the entire history of the world.
You're not. You're the jammiest man in history. You've got away with some outrageous stuff. After the earthquake in Italy, people were living in makeshift tents, and what did you say to them?
They have hot meals, there's shelter at night. It's like a weekend of camping.
That is taking the piss, isn't it? Hey, pretend you're on holiday! You've lost a leg, don't worry about it. You can do a good impression of a flamingo! Cheer up, you dusty fuckers! Yeah, you only got one eye. Everybody loves pirates! Is that right? You think he can say anything and get away with it?
I need to bring you best wishes from a guy who's called, what's his name, some tan guy, Barack Obama. You will not believe it, but the two of them must have gone to sunbathe to the beach together, because the wife is also tan.
Terrific, and yet they're cheering! They love him. He could dunk his dick in Dolmayo, cock-slap the Pope, and Italians would still go, hey, Silvio, you want to kiss my baby? So, most recession stories are full of misery. This beauty bucks the trend. Recession brings families together. Apparently we're happier during the credit crunch because we spend more time with family and friends. Makes obvious sense. My family are wonderful. At a recent wedding, I was at a church in Plymouth. My cousin was getting married. It overlooked this beach. Do you know what my cousin had done in the beach? He'd drawn a 30-foot cock. All the photos had to be taken on the other side of the church so we didn't overlook this massive sandy wang. It was the highlight of the wedding. I actually overheard my auntie go, here, do you see the bell end? Priceless. A well-placed cock in the sand can always make you happy, and it's free. I tell you what else is free, flirting. A recent report suggests that flirting is good for us. And if that's the case, this guy must be feeling fantastic.
Okay, Max, you are one handsome guy. Whoa. I don't normally like to fly, but I am changing my mind.
Baby doll wants to play.
Birdie, final answer.
I hear the little birdie, you're right. You got it.
For me, it's the miracle.
Okay, you are a miracle, Max. Going for 200. It's pathetic. It's just, I'm an old, horny woman, all right?
To be honest, the questions aren't really helping her.
For 200, the childhood prank known as a wet willy involves putting the wet finger in someone's what? Anywhere you want to put it, Max. All right.
We can't actually show you the rest of that clip, but that man will never walk again. Also, this report goes on to state the obvious by claiming that hanging around with your male mates is bad for your health. I could have told you that. No. This is a really weird story. I don't know if you read about this. It's great. Now, we all know this song.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men
Could put Humpty together again. Yes, this is the bizarre story. The BBC have changed the ending of Humpty Dumpty so that it doesn't scare children. Do we really want right-on nursery rhymes? There was an old woman who lived in a shoe, so she was given sheltered accommodation. Wee Willie Winky ran about the town, got caught and is now doing time in a non-swing. Why do kids need protecting? I've never had nursery rhyme flashbacks. It seems pretty daft, doesn't it? Kids don't form a bond with an egg after one sentence. And if they do, they quickly forget why they're upset. Humpty Dumpty's had a fall. He was my best friend. Oh, chocolate. Kids are fickle. Nursery rhymes aren't scary. These guys are scary. This is a part of the show that I'm leaving in the hands of the production team, and they've done well thus far. Last week, they found me a babbling lunatic who got her tits out on telly, and I had to talk to her. Cheers, guys. They found me a mystery guest, and I have to find out why they're in the news this week. So please, help me bring on my mystery guest.
Stand, Mr. Howard, stand.
Oh, this is weird already. This feels like the beginning of a properly X-rated porno.
I would know such vulgarity.
I've got some videos I can put in. DVDs, actually.
Well, ask me something, Howard.
I've so many flashbacks. This is weird. Will I ever see my parents again? So, what does your day consist of?
My day consists of examining ladies, mostly.
We've got ladies in the room. Do you want to show me how you do that?
Well, it depends if they have 3 nipples.
I will check.
But
Wait, let's not throw that away. Lily Allen might be here. He's got 3 nipples. Has anyone here got 3 nipples? As if you're going to admit on telly. Yay! Barry, Steve and Nathan. So why ladies with 3 nipples?
Well, it proves that they've been suckling on the poisoned teat of Satan's breast.
How does it prove that exactly?
You're not up to date with such affairs, are you, Mr. Howard?
I'm not.
Well, would you like to take the test?
I would. I'd look forward to that.
All right, well, this test will prove wherever you're in league with the devil and indeed a servant of Satan.
Okay.
Take a seat. Now, if you weigh less than the Bible, then you are indeed an evil no-gooder. It's working. It's... You are a witch! A witch! Everyone! Witch! The test is complete, Howard. You can come off there.
Thank you very much. So I'm a witch. Sweet. I'll be honest, I'm none the wiser, but I like you. What do you do? It's difficult to tell, really. I presume you work at the London Dungeon in some form?
Well done,
There
sir.
we go.
Yes,
Excellent.
yes.
In what capacity? What's your actual name?
My name is Matthew Hopkins.
Excellent. I thought that was going to be a lot grander, I'll be honest.
You do not know your history then, Howard, do you?
I don't.
If you mock the name Matthew Hopkins.
Oh, I mock it, and I mock it to your face. I call you Matthew Cockpins, that's what I do. I don't know. Who is Matthew Hopkins? Fill me in.
Matthew Hopkins is the Witch Finder General.
Why have you been in the news?
I've been in the news this week as I am trying to cleanse this city of evil, to rid them of witches at the London Dungeon before Halloween.
Well, I look forward to that. Good luck with your witch hunting. Ladies and gentlemen, my mystery guest! So, fox hunting is back in the news.
And tally-ho, we're off again, as the Tories set out how they would legislate to sweep away the hunting ban.
And what do the foxes think about this?
This means war.
How lucky are foxes? All they want to do is eat chickens. And yet people want them dead. We're not like that with any other animals. Ducks? These monsters procreate through gang rape. I'll do that again because I slightly stumbled over it. Do you know this? January 2, ducks mate by gang rape. Here we go. These... You're not going to laugh now, you're slightly freaked out. You haven't seen it, it's horrific. No wonder Orville wore a nappy. Jesus, right? These monsters, these ducks, do you know they procreate through gang rape? And what do? We feed them bread. It's ridiculous. You must be famished after all that sexual assault. Here, have some Hovis. Build up your strength before your next rape, you feathery predator. Mice? All mice do is go, hello, I'm a tiny mouse. All I want to do is run along your skirting board. Maybe I'll leave a tiny, tiny piece of poo. What do? A trap that takes the head off. And yet the dog, he's our best friend. Why? You know what they're like. Hello, I'm a dog. I'm your best friend. I'll have a walk at 5. I'll take my dinner at 6. I'm off into your garden for a colossal shit. Oh, when are your mates coming round? I haven't sniffed bollock for a week. Could be worse. At least I ain't a fox. Have you seen this? Brown warns climate change causes more destruction than 2 world wars. Now, obviously, we should all be concerned. The trouble is, the British mentality is to find humour whenever we can. I'm so glad I got that on camera. We can't help it. We love to take the piss. Have you seen the latest climate change video? It's ridiculous.
Some places could even disappear under the sea, and it was the children of the land who'd have to live with the horrible consequences.
That's right, kids. Turn off your lights or you're going to kill your puppy. And if you keep playing on your Xbox, this is what you'll do to your rabbit.
There were awful heat waves in some parts, and in others, terrible storms and floods.
That's right, you've made your rabbit cry. And now his tears are adding to the flood. Why don't you just put a toaster in your nan's bath?
Is there a happy ending?
Probably not. We don't need a cartoon. We need to be properly scared. Turn your fucking lights off! Will there be a happy ending? No.
Vicious man-eating tomatoes grow to monstrous proportions.
GM foods are back in the news. GM crops anger as leading scientists call for push on frankenfoods. It's an emotive topic. Some people get so angry they actually lose the power of speech.
The potential for contamination, the commercial implications for Australian prime industries, and the benefits and risks associated with genetically modified organisms.
Exactly, you're right to whoop. Genetically modified. Can you imagine that? I am having one of them. Imagine being stuck in traffic and have one of these genetically modified. What's happening? I'm jizzing like a pig is what's happening. Not everyone's angry about GM foods. This guy loves them, and he may also be the poshest man in history.
Already the papaya crop, for example, in Hawaii, was saved by genetically modified papaya, which dealt with the pests that they had to deal with.
The only man to make the words papaya rhyme with Hawaii. And I say bloody right. We can have real fun with GM foods. I think this is fantastic. I've got some ideas, right? Sprouts that know their place. They just sit on your plate, look at you and go, oh, fuck off. Wouldn't it be great? Onions that make you laugh. Very good, yes, I do that. I'm often doing that. It's funny because it's true. We could have, this is my favourite, suicidally aggressive veg that hunt you down to make sure you've had your 5 a day. Wouldn't that be great? Just a cucumber flying through the air. I've got nothing to live for! Open your mouth! Thanks, cucumber. Have you seen the latest fashion for babies? It's t-shirts with provocative titles on them. They say things like, my mum is single, got sex, but my personal favourite, if you can call that, is this. Porn star in training. Who looked at a baby and went, it's cute, it could do with the word porn on it. It makes you wonder, what did they reject? Nappy slapper? 2 girls, 1 bib? Or pedo magnet? People are, of course, outraged by this.
I find the whole thing really worrying and really quite disturbing because I just think we're kind of robbing kids of their childhood.
Calm down, Melinda. Just because these t-shirts exist doesn't mean people are rushing out to put I love dogging on their child.
Have you seen a 9-year-old
wearing something in a pair of shoes like that? What is she trying? What is she saying? Come and get me, guys. I'm in these lovely high heels.
No. No, Ian, she's not saying that. You don't have to do what your clothes tell you. I don't put on a pair of hush puppies and think, I'm off to kill a dog. During a survey this week, a strangely high number of people admitted to being injured by a biscuit.
The Royal Society for the Prevention of Accidents say that 400 people a year in Britain are treated in accident and emergency departments for biscuit-related injuries.
How do you get hurt by a biscuit? We've learned this week that modern man is pathetic compared to our Neanderthal ancestors. Apparently they were faster, stronger and fitter. You get sick of these stories. Women, oh, I wish I had a proper rugged caveman. Really? Would that actually be better?
I've had such a hard day at work, darling. Can you put the kettle on?
I don't want to just take the piss out of the news. I want to share something uplifting with you. This story made my heart melt. It's about a 7-year-old boy, a blind boy called Lucas, who uses sonar to picture his surroundings by making clicking noises.
He clicks his tongue on the roof of his mouth, and the sound that bounces back from the objects around him helps him to understand where they are and how big they are. We'll be talking to Lucas and his mother later on in the programme. First, let's have a look at how it works.
What do you think that might be? A bollard. Good boy. What do you think it's made of? Don't touch it. Use your click. Wood. Good boy. Right, let's keep going. Right. Good boy.
That's pretty incredible.
He's also a dab hand at basketball. Here he is, using that clicking technique to judge the distance of the hoop, and in it goes. He does it several times. Let's have another look.
Yay! Woo!
How wonderful is that? Nobody can fail to be uplifted by that. Hope you enjoyed the show. Take care.
More comedy over on BBC 4 now with Armstrong and Miller. And don't forget about us, we've got some too. We've got the Family Guy double in a couple of minutes.